And if your partner is not creating or helping you create the best version of yourselves, why are you guys in a relationship? Hello, beautifuls. My name is Giselle, co-host of the Strong Sunflowers podcast and founder of the Create app, an app specifically created for content creators. So if that's you, make sure you follow us on Instagram. We should be dropping in late October, but the waitlist is coming out in August. This video is going to be all about 13 things mentally strong couples don't do. I did a video with this author before about 13 things mentally strong people don't do, and it was really good. And I'm really excited to read over these 13 things. I haven't read all of them, so some of them I'm reading for the first time with you, and there's one already that I'm like, hell no, I do not agree. But without further ado, let's jump right into it. Number one, they don't blame each other. Mentally strong couples don't play the blame game or make their partners feel like they're responsible for their feelings. I think, yes, as a single person that has been in a not so healthy relationship and a healthier relationship, I can totally attest to this. Take accountability of your feelings, stop playing the victim mode. You can truly be happy if you want to. And I feel like when you don't take responsibility for your emotions and you let your partner take that heavy load and they feel like they're walking on eggshells around you, that's definitely gonna build resentment. And that focuses on number two, don't hold grudges. Instead, focus on moving forward. I feel a lot of these are interconnected because if you're holding resentment and anger towards each other, then you're definitely going to be blaming each other, and that's not helpful. Number three, don't dwell on past mistakes. I feel like, have you ever seen those relationships, like specifically, for example, like if one couple cheats and then the other couple they decide to stay in the marriage, but they bring it up constantly. And it's just like living in this nightmare basically because the other person can't really get over the cheating or the infidelity. That's holding grudges, baby. That's holding resentment. That's using blame. All of those things you're doing right there. So if you feel like you can't get over what has happened, break up, separate. Number four, don't get attached to being right. I totally agree with this. We should be prioritizing empathy over being right. Being right is not the point. You guys are on the same team. The point is to really understand each other, where each other is coming from. Number five, don't seek constant validation. Oh my gosh. To me, that is so annoying. So annoying. But I know that some of us have anxious attachment style and we need to constantly be reminded like, hey, I like you. Hey, I'm here for you. Hey, I'm not going anywhere. And I know that we're all working on that. I feel like good communication is really important in relationships because if I know that you are working on that and that is your background, then it's much easier to digest than just you being so clingy all the time. And number six is the one that I have some beef with. It says, mentally strong couples don't make themselves the priority. They always prioritize the other person's feelings before theirs. Excuse me? 0 out of 10 recommend. You need to be working on yourself, focus on yourself to the point that you're overfilling. If your cup is not overfilling, you shouldn't be in a relationship to begin with because the relationship takes a lot from you. And if you're not pouring into your own cup and you're just pouring into other people's cup, again, all the other things that we talked about, the resentment, the blame, all those things are up for grabs because if the other person is not in a space where they can pour into you back and have this back and forth balance, then it's not gonna work. And of course, I'm not saying to be selfish and not to take your partner's feelings into consideration, but definitely make sure that your feelings are good because if you're not pouring to yourself, there's definitely gonna be this blame game of you didn't pour into me and I did this nice thing for you and you didn't do this nice thing for me. Do nice things for yourself and then do nice things for your partner. Now, number seven is one that I 100% agree with. Don't avoid difficult conversations. I feel like throughout my whole marriage, background, I grew up in a Hispanic household. I'm from Cuba, and I feel like every time I would give my opinion, it would be seen as disrespectful. So I grew up to like kind of suppress my emotions and my opinions. So when I got married, I kind of did the same thing. Every time my husband would do something that I didn't like, or we needed to have a hard conversation that I didn't feel comfortable about, I would like put it under my rug and just shut down and be like, oh, I'm just not gonna say anything. And that is not the way to go. 0 out of 10 recommend, because it led to me holding grudges and having resentment because my needs weren't being met because he didn't even know what my needs were. So after my marriage and my next relationship, I definitely made sure that I spoke. And we talked about this like literally the first week that we were talking. It's like, I want to be in a relationship that I just have clear communication and I can just say anything that's in my heart and then we can say yes or no, and then we can move forward. And knowing that you can have those difficult conversations and the other person's not gonna rechazarte. Oh my gosh, my Spanish came out. And knowing that you can have those hard conversations without being rejected, which is really important. Number 8, mentally strong couples do not start drama. Okay, we're not gonna fight over who left the toilet seat up. We're not gonna fight about how you cut your little potatoes. It's an argument. I feel like my relationship / situationship, like we never argued really. And every time that I can remember that we had a conversation, it was just literally having difficult conversations and sitting down and being like, hey, this is how I'm feeling. What's up? And I love that this is a thing because our home is supposed to be our safe space. Like, I don't want drama. If I want drama, I'll go to the world. I'll go out and about. Like, I just want to have peace when I'm home. And I feel like if you're in a relationship, that relationship should bring you peace. If the relationship does not make your life better in every sense of the word, why are we together? Number 9, don't make assumptions. I think this is, again, universal for friendships, for platonic relationships, and for romantic relationships. Stop making assumptions. Stop making assumptions of your partner, of your friends. One of the things that always comes up with assumptions, it reminds me of a story from Brene Brown, where she said that her and her husband went to this lake house vacation and they were in the water. And they start swimming, right? And it's all about the story that we tell ourselves in our head. And she says that in her head, she was just like talking to her husband and her husband was ignoring her because in her head, she was just talking to her husband while they were swimming to the shore and her husband just kept ignoring her. And the story that she told herself was like, oh my gosh, I gained weight. I don't look as good in this bathing suit. Like my husband's not attracted to me. He doesn't even want to talk to me. So this whole story she told herself while they're swimming to shore. And when she got to shore, she was like, hey, like, is there something wrong? Do you not think I'm pretty in this bathing suit? Whatever. And he was like, what are you talking about? She was like, well, you've been ignoring me since we were swimming. And he was like, I was having a miniature panic attack because there were boats around and he just needed to focus on just getting to the shore. And because she asked questions, it changed her perspective of the story, the real story of like, hey, he wasn't even focused on you, girl. He was having his own problems. Number 10, mentally strong couples do not give up easily. And I am a hopeless romantic, you guys. Like, I'm 28, I'm single, so if you cute, holla at your girl if you like to travel or whatever. But I feel like nowadays people just give up so easily. Mind you, I got married at 19 and it took me like 2.5 years to make the decisions to divorce. I got married really young and I feel like I didn't get married for the right reasons. We didn't even have a conversation of like finances, how we want to raise our kids. Like none of the important conversations we had, we were literally like, hey, you're cute and I like you. And he was like, you're cute and I like you and let's get married. And that was that. So it was definitely like puppy baby love. So when I started working on myself and getting a little older, I was like, yeah, this is not the relationship for me. Like we don't see eye to eye in so many things and the life that we want to create and moving forward, like we can't move forward because we're so misaligned in where we want to go. No beef with my ex-husband. I love him and I wish him the best, always. But yeah, I just feel like nowadays people are not willing to see everyone as a whole, you know, like I might be great at a lot of things, but there's a lot of things that I suck at. Everybody has different things that they have going on in their lives. And I feel like a lot of people are scared to show like their dark side because then people will walk away. They'll get rejected, you know. In a beautiful relationship, you are able to be your truest self and knowing that that other person is not going to walk away from you. Like they're going to be with you regardless. Number 11, they don't prioritize external expectations. And I freaking love this because all throughout my marriage, I would still go on vacation. I love to travel. And my husband at the time couldn't leave on vacation. And I would still go. And people would always ask me like, where's your husband? Oh, you went on vacation without your husband? You're doing X, blah, blase, blase. Like when you are creating a relationship, make sure that the relationship is for you and not for the norms, not for the church, not for the people. Like the relationship's for you. I know like my friend, her husband, when they were pregnant, he stayed at home and took care of the kids. Like at church, it would be so freaking shady. Like the other men, they'll be like, oh, so you're a stay-at-home dad? Like, yes, because that's what's best for my family. Like, stop letting society tell you what's best for your relationship. Whether how you want to raise your kids, whether how you want to have a relationship between you and your husband. Do you guys want to split the bills? Does he want to pay all the bills? Do you want to pay all the bills? Whatever it is, it's between you and your husband and your spouse and your relationship. How you run your household. I feel like a relationship, again, it's going to bring out the best of you. And if your partner is not creating or helping you create the best version of yourselves, why are you guys in a relationship? You guys should be making peace on earth in your home. Like, oh my gosh. Number 12, and I feel like this one's really important. Mentally strong couples don't sabotage each other's goals. And I read the book, 8 Rules of Love by Jay Shetty. And in that book, he talked about, like, if you are not willing to support your spouse or someone else that you're in a relationship with their goals, with their life purpose, then don't even get in a relationship with them. Don't even be in their circle, because when we feel like it's our life purpose to do this one thing and the person that we love is telling us that we can't, there's a lot of like pushback in that. And that can build a lot of resentment. So if you're not willing to support someone in their goals and their dreams, for example, I won't date any military men because I don't want nothing to do with the military. But if that's your goal and your dream, perfect. I'm just not gonna get in a relationship with you because that's what you want to do. And I wanna be able to support you 100% in what you're trying to do. And I feel like also, especially getting married young, being able to support each other's dreams and goals, even if it takes you a little bit further from each other. In the sense of like, if you have an amazing opportunity, like I don't want to be like, oh, you can't do that because we have to stay here and we have to be together, because that's the norm, right? If you have an amazing opportunity, if your spouse has an amazing opportunity, let them do that amazing opportunity. Don't hold them back. Number 13. Okay, now I kind of see it. It's saying mentally strong couples do not neglect self-care. And yes, take care of each other, but also take care of yourself. Especially when it comes to mental health, like there are certain things that your partner can't do for you. And this is definitely one of those things. So make sure that you're pouring into your cup, whether it's physical, whether it's nutritional, whether it's mental, pour into yourself. And I know this. I don't care what anybody says. I know from experience, from just seeing it in other people's lives, that the more that you pour into yourself, the more that you can show up in your relationship, the better that you'll be, not only for yourself, but for your family. I hope you guys like these 13 tips from this book. Some of them I was like, but most of them was really good advice. I think as a single 28-year-old, I'm definitely applying all of these into my life, not just romantically, but platonic. And I feel like you can practice a lot with your platonic relationships. So make sure you do that. Make sure that you are showing up for your friends, that you're supporting them in their goals and their dreams. Make sure that you are working on yourself so you can be the best version when you do come with that partner of a lifetime. Make sure that you are not scared to have the hard conversations. Comment below if you're applying any of these tips into your life now. I love you guys, and I'll catch you on the next video. Ciao.